It's time to make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media by the Aggie PSP Network.
The Aggie Fund Foundation is the
$2,500 funding from programs like this.
always looking for new partners.
is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Estvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Estvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Can you remember the last time you were certain that your bank had your back or would go the extra mile to give you the service and attention you need? Partnering with the right community bank can make all the difference. We like to think of a community bank as one that supports its local community. You need to know that whatever your financial future holds, your bank will be there to provide practical support. As a community bank, BNC National Bank will be there for whatever you need in the long haul. Reach out to our team today to learn more about how we're able to help you succeed. Member FDIC.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Work is proudly brought to you by follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game
at any time, to anyone. It's not really something you can schedule on your calendar. But when it happens to you and it's not your fault, there's one law firm to remember. That firm is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We live here and take pride in helping our community. We know this area inside and out. We put in the work and fight for what's right so justice can prevail for you. That is what we're all about. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
Seek transformation. ServPro's construction program brings both vision and precision. From that very first hammer strike to the final touch of paint, our dedication remains unwavering. It's not just about remodeling, it's about legacy. In Minot and Bismarck, ServPro is your partner in transformation. We don't just build back, we elevate every space.
And invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
This page isn't a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
There you get a look inside a Tony Wald Court in North Bismarck at St. Mary's Central High School. We get set for high school volleyball tonight, WDA action on the PSP Network. We welcome Minot High School to Bismarck in the capital city, and they'll square off against the homestanding St. Mary's Saints. Minot High tasted defeat for the first time in conference play on Tuesday. St. Mary's tasted victory for the first time on Tuesday in conference play. And we get set for our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services that don't slow you down. 15-minute oil changes. Locations in Minot and Bismarck. Find them online at VIOC.com. Alongside the UMary volleyball standout, Mackenzie Quintus, Todd Domrey's welcoming you to another night of high school volleyball on the PSP Network. Couldn't be more thrilled to be at one of my favorite gyms to broadcast from. I don't know what it is about this place, but it always has good volleyball matches. It always has good basketball games. It's a great place to set up. I mean, this is my favorite broadcaster venue of all the WDA. So just take a note, anybody that's listening, just build one like this in your gym, and it would be good, yeah.
Yes, very comfortable. I love it.
Very comfortable, yeah.
Great view.
Great view. The lights are good. It's always great video action, always great sound, and the Saints have a good following. And one thing we'll get into tonight within our broadcast in this pregame show, Mackenzie, is a new person on the bench for the St. Mary's Saints. And first-year head coach, Chantel, and a new culture, I'll just say. Chantel Logan is kind of bringing a new way of doing things for St. Mary's.
Yeah, for sure. very evident from just watching warm-ups and
Yep.
you'll see it as soon as they get started. I think she's bringing an excitement to St. Mary's. I think she comes in fresh and hers to build.
Yeah, and a first, right? And how about the resume for Chantel?
Impressive.
Three-time All-American volleyball player at the University of New Mexico, and then played pro volleyball in Finland, Switzerland, and other places. And so, yeah, I think she has a little volleyball IQ, folks.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, she'll bring good things to the St. Mary's bench, and I expect that as the season turns around, you'll start to see the Saints click. Right now, you see their record 2-9. They're 1-4 in conference play. The Minot Majets off to a nice start, 6-5 overall, and they're 4-1 in conference play. And let's jump right into the WDA volleyball standings updated as of right now in tonight's games. You got one undefeated remaining. Minot was undefeated until Tuesday night when Bismarck High defeated the Majets 3-1 up at Magic City campus, so that dropped Minot now into a logjam in second at 4-1. All those teams, Bismarck, Jamestown, and Minot, now all looking up at Century, who leads the way. The Dickinson Mavericks, Legacy, Mandan, these St. Mary's Saints, Minot North, and Williston round out the WDA volleyball standings. We're still early. We're still in the first third of the season, but you and I were certainly impressed with the Century Patriots the other night.
Oh, very impressed.
Yeah.
Both sides, actually, of the net. But Century, got the win in 3 sets that night, and were very, very impressive. I don't know how many times I've commented on how much fun it was, what good volleyball it was.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that we're blessed with. In the capital city, in the Minot markets, in the areas in the West region that PSP Network covers, it's great volleyball on a night in and night out basis in the WDA. I mean, it is, you don't find, you introduced me to this term a few years ago, you don't find circus ball very often in the WDA.
I don't think that thought even crossed my mind on Tuesday night. These girls are very talented. They have worked very hard to earn, their time in the spotlight on varsity, and it shows in the play that we get to watch in the WDA.
There's your WDA volleyball standings, again brought to you by Trusted Tire and Auto. And while we're at it, let's take a quick glance at the media poll. There'll be another one coming out here very shortly, but this one is a week old. Century #1 and undefeated. They're still undefeated and #1. West Fargo is nipping at their heels along with Cheyenne. Those are two good easy EDC teams along with Fargo Davies. And the Bismarck Demons rounding out your top 5 in the Sportscasters and Sports Writers poll in North Dakota in volleyball. And that media poll tonight brought to you by our friends that have the MVP haircut experience. That's Sport Clips. You can find them online at sportclips.com. All right, we'll get to more of the matchup here from St. Mary's tonight. St. Mary's and their first-year head coach, Chantel Logan, and the fourth-year head coach for the Minot Majets, Jesse Gertson. We'll talk about a little bit more of the matchup, and we'll get to our keys to the game. And we'll talk about a little Friday night football schedule that we got coming up tomorrow night, a 5-pack of games for you here on the PSP Network. Our Valvoline and Snow Change pregame show rolls on after this break. Minot High and St. Mary's coming up in just a second here on the PSP Network.
So Carson, how do I become a great football player like you?
Well, practice and having a professional team to answer the call and handle anything you throw their way is also important.
Hey Carson, thanks for teaching crew about community banking at First Western. First Western, you can bank on us.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
For those who dream big, Ackerman Estvold is here with the latest tools and innovations to design smart. Our team of architects and engineers carefully plan every step of construction, making it possible to build bold. And most importantly, we know how valuable it is to give back, ensuring our communities continue to thrive for generations to come. That's Ackerman Estfold.
That's our Valvoline and Snow Change pregame show. Timely services that don't slow you down. A local oil change. Local matters. The Lundins have been taking care of vehicles for 25 years in Bismarck and Minot. A drive-through oil change typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Find them online at VIOC.com, our pregame sponsor. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Alongside Mackenzie Quintus, Todd Domrey's back in the press box here at St. Mary's Central High School. Had to ask our camera operator tonight, Aaron Wald, if he was related to Tony Wald, who got the name of the court, and he thought maybe a down-the-line relative of the Wald family. So I'm amongst royalty tonight.
Yes.
When Mackenzie and I both look with a wry smile back at Aaron, and he just had a wry grin. Minot High went 4-2 in the crossover, and they actually played the St. Mary's Saints, winning on day 2, 2-1. It was 25-19, 25-15 in favor of the Majets, and then St. Mary's won set 3, 13-15 or 15-13, whatever your pleasure is. Minot swept St. Mary's last year. They won the crossover and then won a double counter, and they split back in 2023. So it's been a matchup between these two squads that has been favored just slightly for the Majets. And the Majets last year, Mackenzie, this is a team that has been a little bit snake bit about getting back to the state Class A volleyball tournament. They haven't been there since 2011.
Hard to believe.
And it is hard to believe with just a program and the athletes that have come through Minot High School. But just speaks to the depth and the greatness of the WDA league that a team like Minot haven't been to state now in going on 15 years, 14 years, I beg your pardon. But they were close last year and the year before. State qualifying game in 2023 at the WDA. They lost 3-1 to Bismarck High. And then last year, Minot was a 3 seed. They won their opening round game and then lost consecutive games to Bismarck and to Legacy. The state qualifying game against Legacy, a 5-setter.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and so that's just it's one of those that the team is thinking about it. It's still early in the season, but, man, you're thinking, like, okay, we got to get a good seed. We got to get this kind of monkey off our back.
Yeah, for sure. They're playing for something now. They want to get back to there, and they've got, seniors that this is probably meaning a lot to, because as a senior, they also have not, been there. And this is their last chance. So, yeah, it's important to them to, get out to a good start, to be respected in the WDA, and to be feared a little bit. And so I'm hoping that that's something they can do.
Yep. And, I think that crew last year kind of laid a good foundation. You had a great senior class in Sydney Aberley, the all-WDA performer, Reagan Terrell, the all-WDA all-stater, Leah Walter, Jada Shaw, Maya Bogdan, Nicole Kutcher, and that was a good senior group. And now they return 5 more seniors, and they're kind of keynoted by, I'll say the gal that stirs the drink for this Minot attack is their 5-1 setter, Mackenzie Duffner.
Yes, very, very impressive player, and she played as a freshman, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. And I just remember even as a freshman, I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so much fun to watch. She's so smooth. She's just got the softest hands. And then she's got great size for running a 5-1. She can put up a decent block. It's just great volleyball IQ. And now she's a senior. So she's got, and she's had, playing as a freshman, she's had a few years to even build that leadership. Yep. And so now's her time to shine.
Yeah, and she's got a good nucleus around her to set the ball to. Kinsley Gilmore is off to a great start, as is Everett Deshaw, Eve Knutson in that middle, and then you bring Brooke Bedell in and Hayla Fowle, and there's a lot of good arm swings and attackers for Minot High, and then you put Barty on that back row, and it's a good team that Jesse Gertson has, and the Majets are going to be there throughout the course of the season. All right, let's talk a little bit about the St. Mary's Saints. Before 2 back-to-back trips to the State A tournament in 2021 and 2022, it was back to 2015 that St. Mary's was at state volleyball, and their best finish was 6th place at the State A tournament. And now they've had a couple years where haven't been to the state. Been losing in the West Region playing games last year. Had won it a year before. We went 0-2 at the WDA. So a youth movement on this team right now. 4 seniors. One of them is as good a volleyball player as you're going to find, good a basketball players you'll find in the WDA, and that is Matea Messer. And she is, again, like she always does in volleyball, filling up the stat sheet.
Yeah, for sure. Well, she's definitely got to be one of the top leaders on their team in stats and in personality, I guess you could say.
Yep.
I'm really excited to see her play tonight because she was out for the crossover. And so I didn't get to see her play there, but I'm excited to see, what she can do under different coaching and different crew behind her. I'm excited for that tonight.
The one thing I noticed in looking at the stat sheet, the season that Messer had a year ago, where she was top 10 in kills, blocks, digs, and aces in the WDA. That's like the quadruple factor right there, and also a basketball all-stater. But this year, all those numbers are higher than they were a year ago, except for digs. And so it's almost like there might be a little bit of a situational change for her that, hey, we got to play in a little different fashion this year to not only help yourself but help the team.
Yeah.
And the digs are definitely down for her. So it's just one of those things that kind of jumped off the stat sheet for me. I don't know if it's a position change or what quite yet until we get to see that.
We'll have to see. I mean, that could be a totally a different strategy in coaching strategy also. Sometimes you play your libero middle, you play your libero left side, and sometimes you funnel with your block to digs to go to traditionally to your libero, and so then maybe she's just not getting as many, and that's by design.
Yep. And what's interesting about that number too is, and you and I talked about this the other night, is there's a lot of teams when you have somebody as talented as Matea Messer is, they will attack her and make her play more balls.
Yes.
And so it's kind of counterintuitive. I was thinking, well, maybe did I look at that number right? But anyway, we'll get some more of that as the night goes on. But St. Mary's, we mentioned that youth movement. They just got 4 seniors. But then the youth movement, and you get an 8th grader in there like Lily Edinger. You get a sophomore like Ellie Dirk. You get Emily Stroh. It's just her first varsity action. You get a first-year setter now in Maggie Meyer that is sharing the setting duties with Sophia Schlinger, a junior. And so then you get a returning couple back row DSs in Sophia Link and Sophia Mayer. So there's some returning parts, but there is a lot of new faces in varsity volleyball for St. Mary's this year.
You're absolutely right. And, I think that's kind of exciting. You got a new coach, you got some fresh faces, and, they can grow together, coach and team, and, see how this year goes, see how next year goes. I mean, we could be looking at a whole new Saints team by the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. All right, fans, let's talk about our Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game tonight. Make sure your furnace is ready for winter. 222-2155. Call Dylan at Northern Plains Heating and Air. 222-2155 for all your new installation upgrades, furnace, and AC needs. And your Northern Plains Heating and Air keys to the game for Minot High. Hey, they're the team that's 4-1. St. Mary's, the team is 1-4. Minot's the team that was picked a little higher in the WDA coaches poll. If you're Minot, you want to get off on the road tonight to a fast start here on the home floor of the Saints.
Absolutely. I think, Minot, as we talked, they're a very good team. We've seen them go with some very, go close games with some good teams in the WDA already. But I do think it is important that they come out and they, show their strength right away and just it be to their advantage to not let St. Mary's get any sort of momentum.
And for the St. Mary's Saints, the key tonight is, hey, this is a culture thing right now. They are building it. We mentioned it before, the foundation that Coach Logan is developing here. Sometimes that takes a little bit of time to get a footing, so I think the returns are getting close to being there for St. Mary's with this kind of new culture idea.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I hope that these young girls realize the opportunity that they have here to be the foundation of what could be, the start of a really great program. And, and they could even say at the end of this year, like, we started that, or if it's, next year or whatever. But, it's a unique opportunity to, put your stamp on some St. Mary's history.
We mentioned those 6 seniors that Minot High graduated. St. Mary's also graduated 6 seniors last year, including Lily Cunin, Natalie Benning, Addie Kukowski, Autumn Bossert, Ashlyn Greenstein, and Abby Schmidt. So a lot of production right there in that crew that Coach Logan is trying to replace. And we mentioned the conference losses to start the season for St. Mary's. at Jamestown against Bismarck High, at Mandan, and Century were the 4 losses before St. Mary's righted the ship on Tuesday night, winning 3-1 against Williston. And Minot counters that with 4 straight wins in the WDA at Mandan, Legacy at Williston, and Minot North before suffering their first defeat 4-1 on Tuesday night to the Bismarck High School Demons. Again, thanks to Northern Plains Heating and Air for bringing you our keys to the game. Fast start for Minot High and this culture that is being built at St. Mary. There's your keys to the game. Call Dylan today, 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for winter. Again, that's Northern Plains Heating and Air. All right, we're going through some of the particulars here. As always, we'll get to bring you the national anthem tonight, honor those men and women who serve us, and we're going to get your prayer tonight at St. Mary's Central High School as well as we get set for Minot High and St. Mary's. School chaplain will bring us our school prayer tonight.
Heavenly Father, as we come together this evening, we ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. We ask this through the intercession of Mary, the Mother of God, and the patroness of our school, as we pray together, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Mary, Queen of Victory. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please remain standing as we...
And now we'll remain standing, and we'll honor America, honor our great flag, honor our country. With our national anthem tonight here at Tony Wald Court at St. Mary's. All right, let's get to some of the particulars here as we'll go through some of the key players that you'll see tonight, the starting lineups being introduced out on the court. First off, for the Minot Jets, we mentioned Yves Knudsen, Everett Deshaw, Kinsley Gilmore. You'll see a lot of Carol Lawson tonight in that back row, along with Cameron Vardy and Jayla Nelson. Brooke Bedell and Hadley Fall, and Mackenzie Duffner, your setter tonight. Morgan Leszewski and Leighton Johnson also in that Majet lineup for fourth-year head coach Jesse Gertson. And for the St. Mary's Saints, we mentioned a lot of these young ladies, but you're also going to hear about the senior Hope Weiler tonight for St. Mary's. Ellie Dirk will get time on that front row. Mentioned the freshman Maggie Meyer is going to be sharing those setting duties tonight. Sophia Meyer is on the back row. Sophia Schlinger will be the other setter for St. Mary's. Livia Lundeen, Matea Messer, Lily Turman, Lily Ettinger, and Emily Stroh will get that front line time. And Sophia Link will be a DS for St. Mary's tonight as a senior. There's your lineups tonight. And we are just about set for volleyball on a Thursday night here at St. Mary's Central High School. Again, our thanks to Valvoline Instant Oil Change for bringing you our pregame show tonight. 25 years Getting your oil changed at the Valvoline Instant Oil Change headquarters. Stay in your car for a drive-through oil change. 15 minutes or less. Minot and Bismarck. Find them online at VIOC.com. I got your ND score feed. We'll be tracking a few other games tonight for you in the WDA, as you've got Minot North at Century tonight, Bismarck High School at Jamestown, Dickinson at Williston, Legacy at Mandan, and Minot at St. Mary's. Minot got some new uniforms since last year because all these girls changed numbers. Mackenzie Duffner was not 33 last year, so.
Okay. Yeah, I like them. They're sharp.
Yeah, they are. Your libero out there, Camden Vardy, along with Jayla Hansen and Everett Deshaw in the back row to start. Duffner's up front, along with Kinsley Gilmore. And rounding out that first six out there for Minot High is Hadley Fall. St. Mary's is going to put Maggie Meyer at the service line. Freshman is leading the Saints in aces this year. And we are underway. Tight set for Duffner. Just barely got over there by Fall. Set up now for Messer. She just free balls it over. Quick hitter. Gilmore flies in. Oh, what a dig. Meyer picked that off the turf. Middle swing for Fall, and that is down.
Yeah, that was like your picture-perfect pancake dig. You don't see that very often. Flat on the floor. That was a great pickup.
Yeah, the freshman had a tough serve to start with and a pancake to start. And now the ace leader for Minot High on the season, Mackenzie Duffner. Got that line drive knuckleball serve. Couple Saints converge and they get it over. Set up for Deshaw, cleaned up by the back row. Messer has a swing, as does Gilmore, and right between two defenders, Kinsley Gilmore has her first kill of the night.
Yeah, Minot's just doing a better job of controlling the ball. St. Mary's needs to take a deep breath and get a little ball control here, and they'll be in the game a little bit better.
St. Mary's with Hope Weiler, as we mentioned out there. Sophia Mayer. Your libero out there is Sophia Link. And Duffner's serve is wide, and the service error puts St. Mary's on the board for the first time tonight. Good to have BNC Bank bringing you the scoreboard as always on the PSP Network. Your life's busy. They make managing money easy. Locations in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. Find them online at bnc.bank. Just roll over and into a good spot there for Gilmore. And she's a gal that averages about 16 kills a night and went to the changeup right there.
Yeah, she did a really great job. She kind of, went up strong and then last minute changed it to a roll shot, and St. Mary's wasn't able to adjust to that.
Gilmore serves. Set up. Oh, how about that little cutter?
Great spot for Lundeen there. That sharp cross is, a lot of times a good spot to put it in, and that time it resulted in a point for St. Mary's.
Minot by one as Hope Weiler serves for the Saints. Gilmore with touch one to Duffner. And ripped in by Brooke Bedell, averaging double-figure kills on the night. She hit the back line right there for her kill. And Minot will bring Cara Larson in to serve, the 5'4" senior. With the Majets doubling up St. Mary's. Mayer has to set it up, and it's just bumped over by Messer. Sent up there for Bedell, who hits it over the left hand. The big freshman, big 8th grader, Ettinger's in there for the Saints, and now the Saints have a free ball. Set up for Messer, and she tools the block.
That's a great approach by Messer, and that's what I would really like to see is they get her going right away. I want to see her hitting the ball really hard. She's got so much power, and get a couple kills like that. That'll open up some other options for the Saints.
Yeah, good back set there by the freshman Mayer. Messer's got her first kill of the night. Got that on your Ryan Family Dealership replay. Deshaw has to play it up above her head, and off the top of the tape and out is Bedell. And just like that, St. Mary's has tied it up. Messer serves, trying to pick on Deshaw, who rips one.
That was nice.
She said, pick on that.
Wow, that was a really great hit. I did not see that coming. She came in with a super great approach and just very fast arm swing, and that was a kill for a very good kill.
Right down the line on your Ryan Family Dealership replay. Lundeen into the back row. Cleaned up there by Vardy. Bedell, yeah, another kill for the Majets. Bedell with a couple kills here in set one, along with Gilmore. As Minot has eked out a 6-4 lead. Link plays it up to Schlanger. Ettinger in.
And that's a great option for Lily. I know Lily plays a lot of basketball as well, and we've talked before about how that back set, when the middle comes kind of around, they do almost like a layup approach, and you can get a lot of power that way. And so I like that option for her.
Yeah, Lily Ettinger, the 6'3", 8th grader, folks, out there in the middle right now as Knutson goes to the tip. Nicely played.
Yeah, that's a great spot for a tip. It's going to be hard to defend, so they're going to really have to watch that, make sure they take it away from her.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the depth here of Minot's is really spreading it around early on. You've seen Deshaw with a kill, Knutson with a kill, Gilmore, Bedell, and foul. Schlinger has to chase that one down. Gets it over to Dirk, who swings through it. And a tight set hit the pin, and it's out, a point for St. Mary's. I think if you're both teams right now, you'd be happy in some respects with the start. One of our keys of the game was for Minot High to get off to a blistering start. I didn't know that they did that, but there's Knutson again. She's seeing something with the tip right now.
Yep, that's twice now that they've scored on that exact same spot. So I'd say try it again, and if they dig it up, then you can move it around. But so far it's working.
Eve Knutson, the senior, with back-to-back nice plays. Set up in the middle for Hope Weiler, and the Minot block party takes care of that one.
Yeah, they formed a very good block there. I'm pretty sure there's two girls, if I saw that correctly. So not much options for St. Mary's middle hitter.
Vardy serves. Link digs. Swing for Dirk. Still on the St. Mary's side. Just has to be pushed over there by Schlinger. And now Duffner goes to the donut, and she has it down on the court. And you're going to get an early First International Bank and Trust timeout on the courts. FIBT's been doing it since 1910. You can find them online at FIBT.com. First International Bank and Trust locations in Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Quick start here for Minot High. They lead 10-6 here in set one from St. Mary's.
Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
Now Vardy serves for Minot High. Dirk has a swing, cleaned up by the back row of Minot. Deshaw, that might have been long. Messer plays it. Dirk rips it again. Set up for Gilmore. Didn't have her steps quite right on the approach. Schlinger tries to dump it in there. Nice play by the libero Vardy, and that time Deshaw sails it long.
Proves to be a good timeout for St. Mary's. They got the point there.
Mackenzie, we've been doing enough games together. I think you just read my mind. I was going to say the exact same thing. Coach Logan pulled the timeout right when her team needed a point. And now the service error for the freshman Maggie Meyer goes long. Minot creeping ahead here in set one, 11-7. Mackenzie Duffner serves. Messer flies in. Minot High gets a big piece of that. Now to Dirk. Minot High's got the block working. Meyer goes to Messer. Tip cleaned up there by Duffner. Vardy sets it for Gilmore. Good hustle by Messer. Dirk rips off the block. DeShaw cleans it. Back to Gilmore. And that's pretty good defense there by St. Mary's.
Yeah, you know, and St. Mary's I feel like is traditionally has very good spurts of being very scrappy. Keeps them in a lot of games.
And the Saints will send the sophomore Ellie Dirk. Goes to the jump serve. DeShaw on the line. Wow, her uncle Josh DeMel would be proud of that one.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's a very good player to be proud of.
Not everybody has that in their bio.
That's for sure.
My uncle's a movie star. St. Mary's goes to Lundeen. Gilmore Duffner tries the dump into the donut. Couldn't get it in there. Messer with authority.
Yeah, she did a great job there. You know, we saw in the same rotation, we saw her on the right side get a kill the last time she was in this spot. So one thing I've noticed is, you know, on the previous rotation, I don't know if you noticed, but she's playing primarily on the outside. And then the next rotation, she plays the middle. So I really like that because she is such an asset for the Saints, and they're like really trying to utilize her wherever they can.
Oh, how about that play?
Yeah, that was good court awareness right there.
Everett DeShaw ripped it on the attack, and then it was a dig that turned into an overpass for St. Mary's, and then there was DeShaw right there to clean it up again. Watch this. Comes over the net, and then there is Everett to put it down. Minot High, long on the serve with Carol Larson. I really like the balance here of Minot in set one.
Yeah, they have a lot of options, and you know, with such a seasoned setter, she knows to spread it around.
Duffner to fall. Set up for St. Mary's is Lundeen. Nice block by Knudsen. Back to Lundeen. Oh, good dig by Gilmore. Back to Fall, and she has a kill. Hadley with her second of the night.
Yeah, she did a great job. That's a good spot. You could see there was two defenders for St. Mary's going for the same ball. So she kind of hit that seam, and a lot of times that's going to end up in a point for your team.
Oh, tough serve there for DeShaw. Oh, what a play. St. Mary's, as Minot goes to Eve Knudsen from her middle. Eve Knudsen is one of those young ladies that she is cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
She doesn't show too much emotion.
Yeah, and I remember like watching her play basketball as well, and I totally agree. She's out there, she's hitting threes, and just like it's you know, like it's nothing.
Yep. St. Mary's a little bit of an unforced error there, and Minot has stretched this out to a 16-10 lead here in set one. DeShaw, tough serve.
She's got such a powerful swing. Like obviously it shows at the net. She can slam that ball down, but she's back there on the service line, and she's, you know, serving bullets.
And you get a First International Bank and Trust timeout on the court. Minot High by a touchdown, 17-10, and we'll send you to break. Hopefully with a look at this service ace right here. There it is for Everett DeShaw, and Minot cruising here by 7 here in set one.
For a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
First International Bank and Trust brings you our timeouts here on the PSP Network. Family-owned, independent, full-service community bank. Been doing it since 1910 at First International Bank and Trust. Lundin pushes it over. Free ball on the slide. There goes Knutson, and it's wide.
It was a great idea to hit the line there. She was just a bit outside.
St. Mary's catches a break there on the attack air. And the Saints will send Sophia Meyer, I beg your pardon, back to the service line. Serve it to Vardy. Set up for fall. Cleaned up there by Link. And now to Dirk. Oh, off the top of the basketball. Oh, man. And now pushed to the corner and just out for Minot High. Coach Logan saying, I know this is our home gym, but, man, that wasn't quite fair.
Yeah, I guess I have to say I agree with her. I thought that the basketball hoops were out of bounds. But
yeah, I think from most other nights, you can play it off of that. But I think if you hit it into it, then you can't play it off it, if that makes any sense.
yeah, I think so. But
Good tip there by Minot High.
Yeah.
They got the point.
What she was trying to argue was it was going out of there. There was no way anybody was going to get that if there was no basketball hoop there.
Yeah, that was what that's what my eyeballs saw. I'm like, there's no way that should be not a point for St. Mary's, but Minot almost got the break. St. Mary's got the point anyway. Lily Ettinger in the middle. Gilmore blocked up. Deshaw pushes it over. Schlinger sets it up for Dirk. Played with the offhand by Gilmore, and that's a kill for Ellie Dirk. Advanced Tonight's game brought to you in part by Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you at MSU. 96% of their recent grads employed or continuing their education. MSU grads get jobs, period. St. Mary's serves it to Jayla Hansen. Ripped there by Gilmore. Played sideways by Dirk. The line judge is waving her flag like, hey, wait a minute, it hit the pin. Nobody saw it, and we play on. Messer with touch one. Dirk off the block. Gilmore tips to the line. Two Saints converge. Now a free ball for Minot. Can they take advantage here? Duffner wide to Gilmore, just rolls it. Good hustle by Messer. Back to Dirk. Back to Gilmore. Back to Dirk. Back to Knutson.
This is a long rally.
Now back row to Messer. Now Vardy. Gilmore rips. Link cleans that up. Dirk flat-footed. Oh, how about the hustle by Vardy? Oh, but then it was a, you got it, I'll take it.
Yeah, that was a great rally. A lot of good defense. And, like I said earlier, St. Mary's can be very, very scrappy. And if you can just keep the ball off the ground, you still have a chance. And, they proved it. They outlasted that one.
Ellie Dirk with another kill. Link serves. Hansen plays it. Gilmore cleaned up there by the libero Link. And now that one hit the pin. Ellie Dirk out of play to Minot. And tonight's game also brought to you in part by Planet Pizza. We were talking about their Blue Buffalo before the game. We were just getting hungry here.
I'm always hungry when I hear about Planet Pizza. It's my favorite.
852-1700. Nice play at the net there by Hadley of Fall. Yeah, 852-1700. Planet Pizza. Giant lunch buffet as well. They deliver. Largest laser tag playground in the region. Been around for 25 years in the Magic City. Bought an overpass. Schlinger and Gilmore jousted up. Set up now for Ellie Dirk. Good hit. Minot pinballs it around, and Dirk ricochets one off the Minot back line for a kill. St. Mary's going to see if they're going to stack a couple here on the service line for Maggie Meyer. Gilmore gets in a run-up and approach, and that's her best swing of the night right there.
Yeah, for sure. That timing was down perfect on that one. She got the approach. She was flying high, and that ball was just in front of her, so it gives her the best chance of getting on top of it and a really great swing. She did a good job there.
15 kills tonight, along with 15 digs for the junior Kinsley Gilmore. Meyer sets it up. Messer went to the left hand, and that did not cross the netting. A point to Minot, who's closing in here on a set 1 victory. 22-15 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. Mackenzie Duffner, team leader in aces, serves. Dirk down the line. Vardy played it. Gilmore pushes it over. Set up by Meyer, and that hit the pin again. That's been a bugaboo for St. Mary's.
Yeah, just a little bit too outside for Matea, but she got a good hand on the ball. It was good contact. It just was too far outside, and she couldn't keep it inside the pin.
Jets 23, St. Mary's 15. And there goes Duffner with the ace. And you get a Serve Pro set point tonight. Advanced Technology, Fire and Water Cleanup Restoration. It's Serve Pro. Minot High. Point away from taking set 1. Duffner goes to the float. Oh, that's how you end set 1 in style. The ace for Duffner. And Minot High wins set 1. Let's get your Ryan Family Dealership replay of that one. After hitting one heavy, Duffner went to the changeup. Look at the drop on that thing.
Yeah, that's great serve.
And Minot High wins set 1. What was the final there, Mackenzie? I didn't write it down.
15-25.
25-15, and Minot High leads 1-0 on your BNC Bank scoreboard. We'll come back with set 2 after this break here on the PSP Network. This is WDA Volleyball.
So Carson, how do I become a great football player like you?
Well, practice and having a professional team to answer the call and handle anything you throw their way is also important.
Hey Carson, thanks for teaching crew about community banking at First Western. First Western, you can bank on us.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
For those who dream big,
This week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. Congratulations to this week's nominees on Big Time Games. The votes are in, and this week's Player Performance of the Week belongs to Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. And watch for next week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Aggie Foundation is a 501c3. Our mission is to really help out the communities that allow us in for charitable gaming.
We are so thankful for Aggie Foundation for giving us the $2,500.
I can't thank the Aggie Foundation enough for what they've done.
Aggie Foundation has been just a great partner for our community.
Some of these programs wouldn't be able to continue on without funding from programs like this.
We're always looking for new partners, new communities to be in. If we can make an impact in that community, we will.
During the break there, you saw our PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, Jaden Marshall from Minot North. We'll do it every week, folks. Nominees posted on social media each Monday, winner announced on Thursday. Player Performance of the Week brought to you in part by the Aggie Foundation. Learn about their charity work at aggiefoundation.com. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by the UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot. They're in the Marketplace Foods Plaza in the Magic City, and they're there for all your packing and shipping needs. Now we get set for set 2. Jayla Hansen, the senior, serves for Minot High. And Ellie Dirk, she's had a productive night.
She's been swinging a lot tonight, and I like that she changed it up right there. She's been doing a lot of hard cross swings, and so the change up there caught Minot High off guard.
Saints grab an early lead here in set 2 with Minot High leading 1-0. Maggie Meyer with the serve. Free ball over. Set up by Meyer, and Messer flies in and devours that one.
With Messer on the right there, almost every time they've gotten a kill off of that one.
Played in the back row, almost an ace. Knutson got it over. Now Weiler just free balls it over for the Saints. Duffner wide to Gilmore. Oh, the St. Mary's block. How about the dig there by Deshaw?
That was a great dig.
Weiler goes to the tip. Duffner tips it up. Weiler right there. But St. Mary's couldn't clean it up. Good hustle there by the junior Sophia Meyer in the back row, but that's a kill for Minot High. Neither team budging here. Playing some scrappy defense as Camden Vardy serves for Minot. In the middle to Weiler, pushes it. Good hustle there by Duffner. Played over by Hadley of Fall. Ellie Dirk now on the right side. Fall hits it straight up in the air and nobody there.
It's a good break for St. Mary's. A little miscommunication on the Minot High side.
Well, the one fact about St. Mary's that, team that's 2-9 and 1-4 in the conference, the only team in conference play that's taken a set from the Century Patriots.
Yes, that's very much worth noting.
Yeah. And those set wins don't come easy against Century.
And those, I feel like, are just being in Bismarck for the time that I have, sometimes are big moral wins. A team like Century.
Gilmore, nice play in the back row, sets up Messer. Good pass by Deshaw. Gilmore again. St. Mary's playing well in that back row. Dirk with a couple digs. Oh, the backwards sidewinder for Duffner.
Yeah, those are, I just love seeing those types of plays by setters, and you get them from experienced and very talented setters, and it's just so fun to watch.
That's one that you don't go to a volleyball camp to learn. And Mackenzie Duffner long on the serve. Well, we don't know if it's official yet, but we've been hearing rumors that Duffner is going to take her volleyball talents to
UND is what I keep hearing.
Yep.
So
good for her. Congratulations if that is true. Maybe a verbal commit, maybe not signed yet, but as Hope Weiler has the ace. Let's see if we can get your Ryan Family Dealership replay. I want this one. Get just inside that end line. Oh, hard to see. We're a little bit blocked out. Weiler with the ace. And that one goes wide. To see Hope's dad, Tony, here, along with Grandpa Roman, the Weiler crew, one of our Domrey's family favorite families.
Oh, okay.
The Weilers, yep.
All right.
And Hope is feeling it right now from the service line. And it'll cause Jesse Gertson to ask for and receive a First International Bank and Trust timeout on the court. Community Bank, built on the bond between employees and customers. You can find them online at FIBT.com. Good start for St. Mary's here in set 2. They lead 8-2.
We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Drop it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Out of the Minot timeout, Weiler serves it to Hansen. Swing for Gilmore. Good job by Lundeen to get a piece of that. Messer pushes to the back row. Gilmore tried to cut it, but that goes sailing into the Saints bench.
Yeah, great defense by the Saints. You know, some of it's a little unconventional, but they're getting the ball off of the floor, so they're staying alive.
St. Mary's has stacked a few here on the serve of Hope Weiler. Hansen with a pass to Duffner, now to Gilmore, and that's long. Saints can do no wrong right now, and Minot can do no right.
Yeah, you know, Minot's just had a few miscues on their hitting, which is, you know, not like them, but that's volleyball for you.
Weiler with another good serve. Vardy to Duffner to Deshaw, and that's wide. It is attack error after attack error right now for the Magi.
Yep, that's right.
I'm not the Magi, the Majets.
Yep.
Still the same Magi family.
Yes, yes. But to credit Hope, she's getting her serves in. So, you know, they're putting it in their hands. And
now you get an overpass, and 6'3" on a tee. That's going down.
Yeah, she doesn't have to jump too high to get that one.
St. Mary's has stacked a pile of them here. There's the overpass, and there's Lily Ettinger putting it down to the court. And finally, Minot High gets a good hit there from Hadley Fall.
Yep, it looked to me, you know, so she's their middle hitter, but they put the set just a little bit off to the middle, and, you know, and that's probably by design. You got an 8th grade middle blocker there. You're going to test her a little bit, see, you know, what her range is, but I like to see that because, you know, it's the only way Lily's going to learn, and she's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, that is a frame that you just don't see at the high school level very often.
Right.
Minot High with the block. Bedell plays it over. Messer pushes to the back corner Shangri-La spot.
And that is one thing that Matea is very good at. She's got that 2-hand push, and she can push it very strong. So she hits that corner. That's exactly where you want to do it if that's the play you're going to take.
Yeah, we've seen Matea go to that on occasion throughout her volleyball career. And now she serves it up with the ace. St. Mary's is rolling here in set 2. Ryan Family Dealership replay. There's the ace that just eats up the Magi. And now back to back.
It's quite the celebration they have for their aces too. I kind of like it.
And you get a timeout brought to you by First International Bank on the floor. 15-3. St. Mary's rolling here in set 2. Here's this back-to-back ace. Oh, that was the first one. I beg your pardon. There's the second one. Yeah.
Yep.
Off the tape. And there's the celebration even. That's the best Ryan Family Dealership replay of the night. Now we'll just keep it right here. St. Mary's leads 15-3 in set 2. We can tell you tonight's game brought to you in part by BSN, creating exclusive personalized solutions for North Dakota high school and collegiate programs. Custom equipment, uniforms, coaches, apparel, fan wear, branding, and more. They do it all. Contact your local BSN sales pro today. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Farstead Oil. Find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Serving North Dakota, Montana, western Minnesota since 1938. Committed to outstanding customer service and reliability, Farstead Oil. It's First International Bank and Trust timeout. Find them online at FIBT.com. St. Mary's by a dozen. Tam Messer serves to Gilmore, now to Duffner. Fall. Long.
I like this call, which I'm assuming is coming from the bench or from Coach Logan, but you can tell she's serving right kind of at Mackenzie Duffner, but because Mackenzie's coming up to, you know, be ready for the set, so which might actually sometimes block the view of the passer there, and so that's kind of where they get lost in passing, I guess is what I was trying to say.
Bedell free balls it over. Little backslide for Ettinger. In! Everything working right now for St. Mary's. There's a little backslide for your 6'3" 8th grader.
Yep.
She finds the line. And now one off the tape. Gilmore wide, Bedell into the net. Well, these two service games right here for first Hope Weiler and now Matea Messer. You talk about stacking points.
Yeah, this has been a great run for St. Mary's.
Back row played by Gilmore. Duffner has to hustle for it. Free ball over. And now Lundeen off the top of the block. Bedell into the St. Mary's zone.
Nice hit. That was great timing by St. Mary's. Sophia is a very talented setter as well, and she hit Lily right where she wanted that ball, and she slammed it down.
Yeah, that one had some steam on it. That doesn't look like a middle schooler right here.
Nope, definitely not.
St. Mary's tearing it up here in set 2. Tip to the net, tight for Duffner, and Minot High. Another unforced error. St. Mary's looking to even this thing up, and they are not letting Minot High get any mojo going here, but there's Everett Deshaw cooling the rally momentarily.
Yeah, cooling is a great word because St. Mary's, with their serve, is pretty hot.
Yeah. Well, this might be one of these games for Minot as they send Carl Larson out there to serve. Lawson, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, they at this point need to just get out of this set.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I mean, you might as well just take your medicine here and just hit the reset button.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you lose 26-24, 25-23, or 20-4. It's the next one's going to start 0-0.
Yep, that's right.
Good dig there by Vardy. Sets up Deshaw. Played by Link. Dirk to Vardy. Duffner has to get it to Bedell, and that's down.
It's a great hit by Bedell.
Brooke Bedell makes it 21-5. St. Mary's will set up Ellie Dirk. Well-formed block. Now a joust at the net. On the Minot side, has to be pushed over by Gilmore. Now Ettinger, long. Lily couldn't get on top of that one. But St. Mary's with some room here, up 21-6. You'd think a few side outs, and St. Mary's has a chance to put away set 2. Good first pass. Sets up Ellie Dirk, who just rolls it over. Duffner goes to the backhanded sidewinder again. On the slide, Ettinger. Blocked by Minot. Link bumps it over. Set up for Knudsen. Nice play.
Yep, that was a great hit. Like you said, St. Mary's does have some room to work with here, but they don't want to give Minot High any sort of heat here. They want to get out of this, get a side out, put this game away, and go into the third set with a lot of momentum.
And just long for Deshaw. Sophia Link puts it in play. Set up in the middle for Knudsen. Mayer got a hand on it. Diving play for Dirk. Minot back to Knudsen. Wide.
Once again, St. Mary's, getting a hand on the ball, staying alive. And, in this game, Minot's made a lot of errors. And so just by keeping the ball alive has made St. Mary's be up a lot in this game.
Oh, good cross-court play there for Bedell.
Yeah, that's a great spot to put, those tips in that very cross front court. It's hard to defend, and it's easy to let go.
Well, this is the first game that I've got to watch Chantel Logan on the St. Mary's sideline. And she's out there jumping around.
Oh, yeah, she's an active coach.
She's wearing it on her sleeve for sure. St. Mary's doesn't get it over the net. I mean, they had that play to Edinger a moment ago where they had the called backslide, and she was out there getting ready to hit it, just like Lily was. Almost an overpass, it is.
Yep.
Well, good call, Mackenzie. Minot High's got a little life here all of a sudden in set 2. See if they can answer that big run by St. Mary's with one of their own. How about that block party?
And nothing like just a straight down block to give you a little bit of momentum and a little fire. They're not giving up.
And a First International Bank and Trust time on the floor. How about this? Bedell, Knutson block right here. The Knutson-Bedell law firm blocks it down, and Minot High trying to get back into set 2. Timeout on the floor, 23-11, with Minot High leading 1-0, but St. Mary's up by a dozen here in set 2.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Moonlight Home Improvement, your home renovation specialists in the Magic City. I mentioned the PSP Network. Get 10% off in your next project invoice. Call Drew now, 701-721-4612. Moonlight Home Improvement. Proud sponsor of the night game. You get a service there for Minot High. And St. Mary's now has a Serve Pro set point, looking to tie this baby up 1-1 here.
I think Coach Logan's 3 for 3 on her timeouts.
Yeah. And you get to the freshman out there, Maggie Meyer. Good play by Deshaw with the first pass. Sets up the system offense for Kinsley Gilmore.
She did a great job hitting that ball. It went right over St. Mary's block.
St. Mary's a side out away from taking set 1. Vardy serves in the middle to Weiler. Pushed over, Minot High. Yes. Fall has the kill. Vardy serves it to Link. Meyer to Messer, deep. Well, if anything, I don't know if Minot's going to crawl their way all the way back to win set 2, but at least they've established some momentum potentially for set 3.
I think you're right, and that makes a big difference too. You know, they could have settled and lost 25-5 and went into the third set with their heads hung. But if they can get a few points here, and even if they lose the second set, they're still coming into the third with some momentum, like you said.
Yeah, and Matea Messer gets that one in on the kill, and that will put a wrap on set 2. Get your Ryan Family Dealership replay. Here's the final play here. Good set by Mayer, and there's Messer cutting it in to close out set 2. And we'll take an in-between set break right here, as we'll even that up at 1-1. One set apiece. We'll head to set 3 here from Tony Wald Court at St. Mary's. Good action tonight on the PSP Network. This is WDA Volleyball.
And engineers at Ackerman Estvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
In front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese. It has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh yeah. The rhythm of the slice. This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh yeah.
Order for Danny?
Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Easy. They take care of their customers.
That's right, Carson. You may be number 11 on the field, but at First Western, you and our customers are never just a number.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
When our customers call with a question, we answer their call personally.
Now that's pro-level service.
Thanks, Carson. Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
There's head coach Jesse Gertson of Minot hitting the reset button. Minot won set 1, 25-15. St. Mary's returns the favor in set 2, 25-14. We're all knotted up at 1, and we'll get going here on set 3 from St. Mary's Central High School tonight. Good to have you tuned in alongside Mackenzie Quintus, Todd Domreys. Good to have Aaron Wald running the cameras for us and producing tonight. Like to promote local athletes on the PSP Network, and while we get a second, let's look at that football lineup tomorrow night. Minot High at Shanley, West Fargo Century, North and North, Central Cass and Dickinson, and Velva Drake Animus Garrison at DLB. High-profile night of Friday Night Lights here on the network. St. Mary's sets it up for Messer. Good dig by Duffner. Vardy bumps it to Deshaw. Meyer, good hustle. Messer sent over by Link, and now Knudsen out.
And that great, like you said, great hustle by Messer that kept this rally alive, and that gave, I've said it over and over, if you get the ball up, you've got a chance, and Minot High made an error, so that's point to St. Mary's. A hustle point, you could call it.
Bedell got some steam on that one. Oh, off the basketball hoops. And St. Mary's keeps it alive. Minot's got a chance to Deshaw. Pushes it deep. Meyer to Link. Flat-footed. Messer sails it wide. Now there's your ND score feed. Scrolling across the bottom of that screen tonight. We'll get you a BNC scoreboard update here of the other contests we're tracking on that BNC National Bank scoreboard. As Deshaw hit that one long. It's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, volleyball action tonight. Legacy leads Mandan 1-0. Century up 2-0 on Minot North tonight. And that one going around the pin. And no report on Dickinson and Williston quite yet. And no report on Jamestown and Bismarck High School tonight. There's your BNC scoreboard update. St. Mary's starting set 3 like they played in set 2. Gilmore, back row attack for Deshaw. Good dig, but Minot High has another chance. To Bedell. Yes. Couldn't see what Coach Logan was up there lobbying about. Maybe that Bedell went over the center line,
yeah,
maybe?
I couldn't really tell either, but I...
Messer couldn't get that one cleanly. Into the net it goes. The attack error ties it up at 3.
I like that idea, though, because we don't see, last year Messer played all in the middle, and we've seen her on both pins now, on the outside, on the right side, so that was kind of like a trick play, you could call it, where she comes up in the middle, and here we go again. Trying to catch the blocks off, off guard.
Now Messer on the right side. And you're going to get Minot high into the net, it looks like. Well, this was the rotation where St. Mary's took off in set 2.
Yep.
With Hope Weiler serving. The senior puts it in play. Gilmore rips it in a good dig by Dirk, but St. Mary's just has to bump it over. Duffner dumps it. Nice play.
Yep, I like that play by Duffner. Her hitters have been having a little bit of tough time here in the second set, and you could argue to start the third. So I like that she kind of took matters into her own hands and took the dump there.
She likes that kind of dump from that spot to that spot on the court.
Well,
almost kind of hitting it backwards.
We talked about before, Minot High runs a 5-1, so she's got a few more options because she's in the front row. A lot of times when teams are playing a 6-2, their setters are always in the back row, so they don't have as many options to play on the net. Not to say St. Mary's plays a 6-2 as well, but theirs is different than you see traditionally, because as you see now, Sophia Schlinger is subbing in. She's their setter, but she's in the front row.
Mm-hmm. Taya Messer ricochets one off the block for the point. And the Saints lead 5-4. Duffner to Gilmore. Anninger cleans it. Lilly blocked away. Fall and Gilmore with a half block each. Well, after it was kind of close midway through set 1, this has been a dogfight.
Yeah, nobody's pulled away yet.
Back set by Duffner, pushed over by Gilmore. Diving dig for Messer, sets up Lundeen. And Minot's in the net again. Well, and I would describe as set 2 and set 3 for Minot have not been clean sets.
No, and I'm wondering if, they got a little rattled in that second game, because I feel like they're playing a little careful, and sometimes that, doesn't work to your favor.
Back set, kind of behind Ettinger.
Good hustle.
How about that play by Vardy? Ettinger on the slide, just long.
Coach Logan wanted to touch there, but none of the officials saw it, so that point goes to Minot High.
Gilmore, we're tied at 6. She puts it in play. Ettinger blocked at the net. Dirk back to Lilly, and that one was short. How about where you don't see too many right-handed volleyball players serve from this side of the court?
Yeah, you're right. That is a little different.
Like Gilmore does. The dump by Schlinger. Gilmore tried to save it, but she couldn't.
And just the same as I mentioned with Mackenzie Duffner earlier, I like that choice for Sophia. Her hitters have been kind of just fumbling around a little bit, so that's a good opportunity for the setter to hit that donut and see if they can get a point for their team and get out of that rotation.
Played over on the overpass by Dirk, pushed over by Bedell, set up for the Saints. Ellie Dirk, Minot High gets a piece of that. Back on the Saints side. Back to Dirk again, and she tools one off the block. If I'd have ever had a chance to play volleyball, I'd have loved to have been the setter.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It would have just been, the ball's always in your hand. You're kind of the quarterback. You're,
Yep.
the action is always there. It's kind of like a catcher in baseball or
Yes.
quarterback in football. You're involved in every play, but I don't think there'd be too many feelings better than when you fooled the opposition with that little dump over.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got to just feel so good as a setter, and especially like, you know, when you get really crafty with it like that. She's so good at just, you know,
the timing.
Timing and the disguise. You know, you watch that as a defense, you're supposed to, you know, watch their hands, see if you can read anything. But she's so quick to do it at the last minute that it's hard to pick those up.
Perfect Ryan Family Dealership replay on that kill for Mackenzie Duffner, and now Hope Weiler. Back and forth we go here in set 3. And these 1-set-to-1 matches, that set 3 becomes uber important.
Yes.
Let's see who can survive here in this one. Off the tape goes Mayer.
Nice.
Oh, Messer with the heat.
You know, she just is doing so great from the right side this game. Anytime they go to her over there, it seems to be a point for the Saints.
Now this one had some velocity on it. Meyer serves it. Deshaw cranks it up. Just long.
You know, another thing I love about them kind of moving Matea around, you know, you've seen her on all sides of the net, is now her on the right side, that she's a very strong blocker. And so a lot of times, you know, your power hitter is on the outside. So she's there to block Minot High's probably best hitter.
Yeah, right on cue. She gets a piece of that one. Vardy is going to bump it to Bedell. Another partial tip for Messer. Jousted at the net. Set up for Bedell, pushes it corner, just over Meyer and Meyer, I beg your pardon, and that'll be a point for the Majettes. Messer will rise, so does Bedell. Meyer couldn't control that one. And it's a kill for Brooke Bedell. Hey, BNC Bank brings you the scoreboard tonight, providing you banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC Bank online at bnc.bank. Duffner goes to that coffin corner over there. St. Mary's up to the task. Duffner again. That time she goes front side for the tip down.
Yeah, a lot of action for Duffner there at the net. And like I mentioned before, you know, since she is front row, she can jump and go over the net. But if she was a back row setter, you know, that would not be an option for her.
Yeah, that all WDA, all-state performer Mackenzie Duffner doing it again tonight for the Majettes. Gilmore and Vardy got tangled up. Lawson couldn't get back into the play, and St. Mary's back and forth we go here in set 3. Ellie Dirk, the sophomore, serves for the Saints. And the ace.
Great serve. I think Minot High's player got a little disoriented on the court there. She was, I think, calling it out, and it was very much in.
Good first pass there by Gilmore. Sets up Bedell. Long. Saints with a 3-point advantage in set 3. Jump serve by Dirk. Fisted up there by Gilmore. Deshaw off the block. Hustle by Messer. Pushed over by Link. Duffner on the backslide. Oh, nice play there for Eve Knutson.
I think she was surprised by that one a little bit, had a look on her face like, oh, I got away with that one. But, you know, she did what she had to do to keep the ball in play and ended up getting the kill for the Majettes.
Ryan Family Dealership replay right in the corner. Bedell with a tough serve. Meyer saves it. Knudsen pushes it. Lundin kept it alive. Now a free ball for Minot. Can Gilmore pay it off? Off the block. Yes, she can.
Yeah, did a great job of kind of changing up her swing a little bit. She wasn't swinging with as much power, and I think that was by design. She kind of went high off the hands of the blockers, and it fell right into that area we like to call the donut.
Brooke Bedell serves it to Link. Played by Lundin. Slammed across by Messer.
That's a great play by Matea. That's, I think, an important point for the Saints to stay in this game. They're on top by 2, and now they've got Hope Weiler back on the line, and we've seen, you know, she's a great server, and this is a good rotation for the Saints.
Duffner wide to Gilmore. St. Mary's block well established. Pushed in that corner by Messer. Set up again for Kinsley Gilmore. She floats it over. Messer in front of the scorer's table. St. Mary's is scrappy. Knudsen will rise, and Toole went off the block.
Great job by Knudsen there. She, you know, came in the middle. I think she saw that she's had 2 blockers up there, and like we talked, you know, Lily is just an 8th grader, so she was, Knudsen did a great job of kind of turning her body and then using the block and to tool it a little bit.
Nobody budging an inch here in set 2. Messer rips one off the block. Gilmore swinging hard. Both teams defending as well, but Mayer couldn't get that one over. You know, I've been going back and forth on Mayer and Meyer all night, so I have to explain what happened. Is when I put my score sheet together, I had Maggie as Mayer for Mayer.
Okay.
And then I had Sophia as Meyer. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, they're sisters. How in the world can that be? So that's why I've been messing up their names all night, folks. It was a typo on my part. I know it is Meyer. I just wrote it down wrong, and now it's stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
Ettinger. Duffner played it. Fall. Couldn't get it over the tape. St. Mary's was down by 1. On the attack error by Minot. We're knotted up at 16 here in a hotly contested set 3 with this affair all tied up 1-1. Minot and St. Mary's matched up at the BPS crossover earlier this year. Minot winning 2-1. Quick hitter there for Fall. St. Mary's defending. Lawson to Gilmore.
That was a great hit by Gilmore. You could see that approach coming for what felt like seconds, but it was so pretty. She just came in really, really strong. Saw that she didn't have a double block up there. If she did, it wasn't closed, and she really took advantage.
Yeah, you could just see the run up there for Gilmore. She was swinging confidently that time.
Yeah, I love those.
Schlinger sets up. St. Mary's has got Reese Matter in there, who just took a swing. Ettinger off the block. Vardy sets it up for Gilmore. Had to kind of push Vardy out of the way. Back to Matter. That time she's blocked. But Minot High into the netting, and it gives us another tie. Back and forth we go in set 3. Ryan Family Dealership brings you our replays tonight and every night on the PSP Network. Trusted name for car buyers in western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com or visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston as Minot gets a point and crawls on top by 1.
Yeah, that was a really great in-system play for Minot. It had a really, really nice pass, and so Duffner was able to do a short, quick back set to Gilmore, I believe it was.
Link with a good first pass. Ettinger on a tee. Got it!
Great net play by Ettinger. She stayed up there, stayed strong, took advantage of that.
Yeah, got blocked in that first one, but had that stick-to-itiveness.
Yep.
There's the first block. Rise up and hit it in on your second attempt. Link puts it in play, and a timely ace for the Saints. How about that little ace celebration?
Yeah, it's I like it. It's very unique.
And you get a timeout by the Majets. Brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. Serving rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. That's First International Bank and Trust. Find them online at FIBT.com. Don't go anywhere. St. Mary's and Minot locked up in a duel here in set 3 with the Saints leading by 1, and we're tied 1 set apiece.
Financial plan or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
St. Mary's by 1. They serve it to Deshaw, right back to her. Oh, excellently placed there by Everett Deshaw.
Yep, the corners, that's where you want to go. They're hard to defend. Great execution by Minot High after their timeout.
$19 apiece, and Minot High with the service there. Kara Lawson, the senior, couldn't keep that one in play, and the Saints creep up by 1. Yeah, crunch time volleyball here late in set 3. This is where you want to play your cleanest volleyball. Meyer serves. Bedell swings. Oh, and then it hit the rafters, and Hope Weiler and Meyer were getting organized on the approaches, and the next thing you know, the ball ricocheted off the ceiling, and it's a point for Minot.
Yeah, that was too bad because that was a great dig for St. Mary's.
Everett Deshaw with the knuckleball. Hard to handle. Oh, good hustle by Meyer. Good play by Messer. To the dump goes Duffner. Kept alive by Weiler. Pushed over by Meyer. Cleaned up by Knudsen. Now to Messer with the roll. Gilmore digging. St. Mary's in system. And Messer and Weiler, and the set was kind of right between them. And that was a tough one for the Saints. They had everything ready there for a 21-20 lead. Instead, the error gives Minot High a lead. Deshaw, good first pass by St. Mary's, sets up Dirk. Flat-footed attack and a pushover for Deshaw. Messer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hello.
Great hit by Messer, but I have to give a lot of credit to the setter on that one. That ball looked like it was going into the net. She had to really just get right underneath it. Those are really hard balls to play. Right here, you can see she had to stay out of the net, and she put it up perfectly for Messer.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the dig either by Sophia Link as well to keep that thing alive. The set and the dig, set it on a tee, and now Weiler denied by that all-around performer, Mackenzie Duffner. Just when you think the Saints have an advantage on the overpass, Duffner there for the timely block, and the Jets lead 22-21. Bedell serves to Messer on the right side. Off the block, ricochets up a couple Majets, and it'll be an ace.
Yep, like that. Matea on the right side there.
Yeah,
again, a kill for her.
You've been on that one all night, Mackenzie.
It's worked for them.
Tied up at 22. Do we have bonus volleyball in our future here in set 3? Gilmore rolls it to Weiler. Good first pass. Swing for Matter. Reese couldn't put that down. Duffner to the back row. Set up for Ettinger. Crunch time delivery for the 8th grader.
You know, and I think it's worth noting, Matter has come in, for a couple short stints, but has been really, really great. And she is just a freshman. So we have a freshman and an 8th grader at the front line here.
St. Mary's has Hope Weiler serving. Just out. St. Mary's goes up by 1. Minot ties it. Minot goes up by 1. St. Mary's ties it. It has been a back-and-forth affair here in set 3. Vardy serves. Link digs. Meyer to Ettinger. The 8th graders feeling it.
Yeah, I think the more swings that they can get her and get her some confidence, get her some kills, she's just going to be stronger and stronger for the Saints.
And a serve pro set point for St. Mary's. And Minot's going to make them think about it for just a second. Saints on top here in set 3. 24-23. We're knotted up at one set apiece. WDA volleyball tonight from St. Mary's High School. Good to have you tuned into the PSP Network. Stay tuned. We'll close out set 3 here in just a second.
Deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
That's a serve pro set point. 24/7 emergency service, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's serve pro. Saints 24, Minot 23. Minot needs a side out. They go to Gilmore and they get it.
Yep, they executed that perfectly. That pass was very, very nice to Mackenzie Duffner. She got it outside to Gilmore, and she's a strong hitter. And so they were able to stay alive 24-24.
Coach Gertson went to that good side out play, and he got it. Well drawn up. Now you get a good server back there in Mackenzie Duffner. They serve it to Link on the backslide. Ettinger wide. And the attack air for the Saints gives the Majets now a serve pro set point. And St. Mary's will ask for and receive a First International Bank and Trust timeout. We'll keep this one right here. 25-24. Got some bonus volleyball here in set 3.
You have a keen sense of calling when we're going to get overtime volleyball.
I'm a good guesser, Mackenzie. Minot won set 1, 25-15. St. Mary's won set 2, 25-14. And now set 3 has been an absolute dogfight. This timeout brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. Full service, family-owned, independent community bank. Founded in 1910, serving rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. Minor after the game, we'll have our player of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. We'll also have our move of the game brought to you by Spas, etc. And that's all part of our planning team financial advisors and Shots Crossroads postgame show. All right, the senior all-stater, Mackenzie Duffner, serving for Minot High. That's a serve pro set point for the Majets. St. Mary's, what they dial up for a side out play. Wow! Nice. Matter in crunch time for the freshman.
She's been so good off the bench for the Saints.
Reese Mattern, how about this little side out action? Goes to the cutter, does Matter. Now the Saints send back the junior, Sophia Meyer. Serves to Lawson. Gilmore on the right side. Saints couldn't keep that one off the ground. And Kinsley Gilmore got another kill. I beg your pardon, it was Hanson who dug that one out of there, not Lawson. And another serve pro set point. And another First International Bank and Trust timeout on the court. Minot High up by 1. St. Mary's calls their final timeout here in set 3. 26-25, Magi on top. Set 3 continues after this break on the PSP Network. Well, here we go. Somebody's going to earn a win here in set 3. And they're going to earn it because this has been close all the way through. Gilmore with a deep serve. And from the back row, Messer just has to slingshot it over. Duffner in the middle, fall, cleaned up by the libero, but nobody home for St. Mary's, and that's the way set 3 goes into the books. What was the final?
25-27.
27-25. They take it off so fast here at St. Mary's. I don't even have a chance to write it down sometime. I'm pushing all these buttons and everything. Ryan Family Dealership replay of set points. Fall tips it over. St. Mary's gets the first touch, and then a couple Saints just got tangled up there. And that'll put a wrap on set 3. The Magi bounce back from a poor set 2, and now Minot High has a 2-1 lead here from St. Mary's Central High School. Have an in-between set break here on the PSP Network. Oh, I did that wrong. That had this problem the other night. Let's try that. Minot on top, 2-1. We'll play set 4 when we come back. This is WDA Volleyball on the PSP Network.
This week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. Congratulations to this week's nominees on Big Time Games. The votes are in, and this week's Player Performance of the Week belongs to Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. And watch for next week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Aggie Foundation is a 501c3. Our mission is to really help out the communities that allow us in for charitable gaming.
We are so thankful for Aggie Foundation for giving us the $2,500.
I can't thank the Aggie Foundation enough for what they've done.
Aggie Foundation has been just a great partner for our community.
Some of these programs wouldn't be able to continue on without funding from programs like this.
We're always looking for new partners, new communities to be in. If we can make an impact in that community, we will.
Partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Todd Domrey's alongside Mackenzie Quintus as we get set 4. Good to have Aaron Wald running the camera for us tonight. Well, Jesse Gertzen got his squad to bounce back after a disappointing set 2. I think St. Mary's is going to have to bounce back now after a hard-fought set 3 and kind of bring the energy back up and make sure that this thing doesn't slip away to the Majets.
Yeah, for sure. They don't want to dig themselves a hole too quickly.
Everett Deshaw puts the first serve in play here in set 4. St. Mary's goes to Ellie Dirk. And she tips it off the Minot block.
Yeah, she did a good job swinging at that. It looked like it might have been a little tight for her, but she did a good job adjusting and was able to use Minot's block to her advantage.
Maggie Meyer serves. In the middle to Knutson, off the shoulder of Link. And
got St. Mary's in the net.
St. Mary's into the netted area. And the Majets will bring out Jayla Hansen to serve, the 5'5 senior. early on here in set 4 with the Majets leading 2-1. Hope Weiler ricochets it off with a couple Majets for the point.
I like that play, getting Hope involved and getting a kill for her. That would make a big difference for the Saints to kind of spread it around a little bit more.
Weiler and Reese Matter up there along with Messer as Dirk threw a curveball out there on the serve and it went wide. Service error will send Camden Vardy. You see, Vardy's going to go play a little collegiate soccer?
Yeah, you marry. She'll be in Bismarck here next year.
Awesome. Play a little soccer for the Marauders. Oh.
That was nice.
Bring the heat.
I've said that before. I really like this play where she kind of comes around. That it's sometimes hard for the opposing blocks to keep track of her, and she's very good out of the middle. That's where she's traditionally played before. So that's a great play for the Saints.
That was a smash.
Yeah.
Saints by 1 here in set 4. Ooh. Gilmore denied.
Great double block formed there between Lily Ettinger and Matea Messer.
Yeah, that's 6'3" with some wingspan, and then Matea Messer right up there at 5'11". And that time Gilmore got the tip. I think that, Kinsley Gilmore, I would say, had a quiet start tonight, but she's been picking it up.
Yeah, definitely. They've really been going to her a lot, and she's been productive for Minot High.
Now Duffner serving. This has been a good rotation for the Majets. Backslide to Ettinger, but that was a little mistimed there for the Saints, and the attack error gets Minot tied in set 4. Duffner serves to Link. Meyer sets it up, and Messer sends it down.
And that's, I feel like, a good rotation for them to get out of. Mackenzie Duffner is a very good server. So if they can limit her time on the service line, that's only going to be an advantage for the Saints.
Tam Messer, line drive serve. Hansen picked it off the ground. St. Mary's sets up Matter. Now Deshaw to Dirk. Matter again. Wide. Kind of like the mojo tonight of St. Mary's. Even though they're down 2-1 here, we're tied in set 4. I like the moxie.
Yeah, they're playing really well. They, being scrappy like we've talked about before, we've seen them traditionally be that way. It keeps them in a lot of games. And then also, I feel like they're serving very, very well. They've missed very few serves. And when you're playing against a team who's kind of struggling and making their own errors, just keeping the ball in the court on your service sometimes gets you a lot of points, and we've seen that with the Saints.
Bedell rolls it over. Set up for Ettinger. Good block there for Minot. Duffner to fall. Ettinger pops it straight up in the air to Dirk. Tight set. Dug out by Gilmore. Bedell rips. St. Mary's blocks. And
they called back row attack. I missed that. And who it was on.
Yep. It's a point for St. Mary's. Meyer puts it in play. Dug out by Messer, but it sails out.
Yeah, that was a very good hit for Minot High. She had a good approach, great timing. Of course, it was a great set. Slammed it down, and St. Mary's almost dug it out, but that time it went out of play.
Hadley a fall for Minot. Ettinger pushes it. Set up for Deshaw. Off the block and in. And 7 apiece. Majet's up 2-1. As Ellie Dirk into the net area. Well, will St. Mary's force a 5th set? And Minot High, will they close it out in 4? Fall serves again. The junior. Link to Dirk. Messer bumps it. Oh, and misplayed by the Majets.
Yeah, that's a great break for St. Mary's.
Yeah, that's one that, you're in the front row and you get one that comes at you like that. You feel like you should play that.
Well, and I think almost what happened there is the Minot High player got just a little ahead of herself. It's almost like she this is an easy one because it really probably should have been. Took her eye off the ball for just a second, moving on in her head to the next play, and that's when it'll get you in.
And now the two teams return the favor, tit for tat on a couple service errors. I can think back to my baseball career, and the easiest fly ball I think I ever had was the one that I dropped. And I didn't drop very many. I might have been the only one I can ever remember, but it was easy. And you just kind of nonchalant it. Next thing goes off the heel of your glove, and that's probably exactly what happened to Minot High. But that was a high-flying play right there for Eve Knudsen.
Yeah, that was a great hit for her.
Minot on top by a point. Watch this swing here for Knudsen. Tattoos it.
Yeah, and great pass by Camden Vardy.
Meyer plays it. Hansen sets it up for Duffner. Gilmore, Rip City, couldn't get it down. Messer, good dig by Vardy. Back row attack. And Deshaw went to the push and it hit the tape. Boy, sets 3 and set 4 have been
just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
That'll keep your blood pressure up as a parent watching this.
Yeah.
That and your fingernails short. Oh, Knudsen again.
Yeah, she's feeling it right now. She's kind of got the hot hand. And sometimes that's how it goes. You get hot and then you have to sub out.
Yeah, of course, Eve Knudsen ties to the capital city. Cousin was a standout for Century Patriots a season or two ago, Eden Fridley.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Well,
and
some good genes running in the family there. Some great athletes.
Yep. Eve Knudsen's mom is none other than Fred Fridley's sister.
Okay.
Tied at 11 here in set 4. Meyer sets it up. Duffner goes to the backsided dump, couldn't get it. Messer mishit it.
I do like to see that. I don't think Duffner's kind of backhand or backwards dump, I guess you could say, has been as effective, which means the Saints are, making adjustments and not letting that kill them every time.
Duffner serves their team up 1. Back set for Messer. Nice block. Tipped over. Deshaw to the corner. Dirk tracks that down. Left-handed for Ettinger. Back on the Saints side. Matter! It matters!
She's done so great for the Saints. They just it's so exciting. Like I said, a freshman and an 8th grader right there. The future is exciting for the Saints.
Reese Matter sneaks one off the block. We're tied at 12. A dozen apiece here in set 4. Back to Matter. Swings hard, but it's blocked by the Majets. Now it's pinballed around. Deshaw to the corner. Messer back to Matter. Too tall. How good is set 3 and set 4 here have been, they have been knockdown, drag-out affairs. There hasn't been about a 3-point lead for either team in either set.
Yep, you're so right.
Matter will just roll it over. Back set for Deshaw. St. Mary's got a piece of that. Bumped over by Schlinger. Set up wide for Bedell. St. Mary's block well established. Now to Deshaw. Oh! She hit that with some vengeance.
And that right there goes to show what happens when you have an experienced setter. She set it to the outside, got blocked, but they were able to dig it out. But then she goes all the way to the other side of the court. So St. Mary's blockers had to move all the way across the net, and they were able to get a more open net for a kill there.
A seasoned setter will pick that out, right?
Yes.
Reese Matter. Boy, she is feeling it.
Yeah, she sure is.
And she has got a big old smile on her face.
I love it.
She's getting hugged, tackled, embraced, coming to the sideline. Sophia Mayer serves. And she has herself an ace.
A little miscommunication there on Minot High side. I think their strategy has typically been if the setter is not able, takes the first ball, then the libero usually takes the second, and just got crossed up a little bit there.
Meyer again, another tough serve. Played to Bedell. Meyer cleans that up to Dirk. Duffner with the first touch. Pass to Deshaw. Flips it over, but an overpass. Schlinger and Fall jousting. Good rally. Backslide for Ettinger. Yep.
I need to give a shout out here to Sophia Schlinger. She is playing really great on the net. There's been a couple times where she's gotten some key blocks where it hasn't necessarily ended the rally, but it's definitely kept it alive and it's been a change maker for that particular rally.
Meyer with a serve. Gilmore with the dig. And a missed attack there for Bedell. Has just given St. Mary's a 16-14 lead here in set 4. Minot leading 2-1. Set up for Bedell. Schlinger has to track that one down to Dirk. Back set for Deshaw. She hit it hard, but couldn't get on top of it.
Yeah, and I think, she had an open net there. Sometimes your eyes get so wide, you have that open net, you want to just hit it so hard, and that one just went a little long.
And a timeout on the floor brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. St. Mary's clinging to a 3-point lead here in set 4. Saints got to win this one to force us to a set 5. Minot can close it out in 4. This is WDA Volleyball on the PSP Network.
Spas Etc., Bismarck's #1 hot tub and sauna dealer, brings luxury and wellness straight to your home. Discover top brands, Sundance hot tubs, and Michael Phelps swim spas that deliver not just relaxation, but real therapeutic benefits. Right now, save up to $5,000 or enjoy up to 72 months interest-free financing. Visit us today at 1420 East Main Avenue in Bismarck and experience the best deals for yourself.
St. Mary's by 3. Sophia Meyer, yeah. I told you the story about that already, folks. I'm still goofing it up. Left-handed swing for Bedell. How about that with the offhand?
Hey, she made a great adjustment, did what she had to do to get the ball over the net and in, and stayed alive, and St. Mary's made the error that time.
Watch this. She's not left-handed, folks.
Nope.
Ryan Family Dealership bringing that replay tonight, as always on our PSP Network broadcasts. Hadley a fall. Couldn't fall that one in bounds.
Yep, and unfortunately, sometimes coaches don't mind if you miss a serve, just misses the line, and you have to, make the opposing team think about it. But St. Mary's didn't have to think too much about that one. It was going way out.
Saints back up by 3. Ellie Dirk. Minot gets a piece of that. Big hit for Bedell. Back on the Minot side. Hope Weiler kept that alive. Dumped down and a block for Deshaw and Knudsen.
Yeah, that was a great block. That went straight down.
Saints by a couple. 18-16, back row swing. And Messer ripped that one wide. I do like how St. Mary's is utilizing Matea Messer this year, though.
Yeah, I really, really do, too. I think that, is just so smart to use her all over the place because she is such a good hitter, a really great leader, and it's just, I like to see her all over the court.
Minot working hard right there. And you get a St. Mary's timeout. The Majets have stormed back here to tie it up at 18 here in set 4. It's the First International Bank and Trust timeout on the floor. Don't go anywhere. Man, these sets have been good tonight. Sets 1 and 2 split. Minot wins a thriller in set 3, 27-25. And here we are, knotted up 18 apiece in set 4.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Bravera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts
Let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account.
to wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals. Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
Crunch time volleyball here in set 4. Deshaw serves it, and another play. There's that force at the net. Mackenzie Duffner.
Yep, she saw that ball was going to either be overpassed or really, really tight, and she made sure she was a presence on the net.
Deshaw, big serve to Meyer. Duffner sets it up for Bedell off the top of the block. St. Mary's is going to go to Dirk. Nice play by Deshaw. Oh, how about the hustle by Messer?
That was great.
The one-handed dig out of nowhere. Knudsen in the middle, paintbrushes it. Gilmore, Duffner pushes corner. Schlinger outside to Dirk. Now to Gilmore. Now Bedell. Out. Oh, and they come with the tip. And the Majets lead by a couple. They've stacked a few on the Everett Deshaw serve. Jousted at the net. St. Mary's just has to push it over. Duffner to Knudsen with the tip.
That was a really great tip by Eve Knudsen. She went up strong and quick and then just very lightly tipped it over. It's hard to read.
Minot flexing some muscle late here in set 4. Let's get your Ryan Family Dealership replay as we send you to break here. Eve Knudsen has come up big a couple times here in the 4th set. That was a nice play there to give Minot High a 21-18 lead here in set 4.
Learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
(21-18) Minot High leads, and Chantel's been solid tonight on the timeout side outs tonight.
She really has.
Saints get a much needed point. Minot High by a couple though. Here in set 4, the Majets looking to close it out. They go to Brooke Bedell. Saints get a piece of that. Now Messer plays it over on a free ball for the Majets. Swing for Bedell, and she tools the block.
Yeah, great job. And then also great job getting out of the way because that was kind of coming right back for her. She kind of had to dodge out of there, make sure she didn't touch the ball before it hit the ground.
Jayla Hansen, the senior, serves. Minot by 3. Link with a good first pass. Sets up Weiler. Off the block. Out. A reminder after the game, we'll have our planning team financial advisor, Shots Crossroads post-game show. Planning team financial advisors helping clients work towards financial freedom. Shots Crossroads, your post-game headquarters. Gilmore had to hustle up to the line to get that one. Set up for Messer. Deshaw with the dig. Gilmore with the push. St. Mary's back to Messer. Goes cross court. Duffner played it, but nobody there to assist.
Yeah, that's a great spot to put the ball because they're kind of in transition there, and Duffner took it that time, and she wasn't able to get enough air under it to, give her teammates a chance to make a play.
Saints with a couple straight. Dirk serves, and a big-time ace. I was looking over at Coach Gertzen like, are you going to call timeout? The Saints have just rattled out 3 straight. We're tied at 22. Dirk again. Duffner to Knudsen. Played by Link. Set up wide for Matter. Dug out by Hansen. Back row attack for Deshaw. Meyer with the dig. Dirk from the back row. 22 apiece in set 4. Knudsen. Tips. St. Mary's bumps corner. Vardy to Duffner to Gilmore to the donut.
That was a great roll shot. They had St. Mary's defenders were all there, and she dropped it just short enough that they weren't able to adjust and make a play.
Yeah, crunch time decision right here. Gilmore's been going with the heat much of the night. That time, change up roll shot right in the middle of the court. Vardy serves with her team up 1. Set up for Messer. It was tight. And I want to get a Ryan Family Dealership replay of that one because
that one.
Let's see. Here we go. Messer came flying in there.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
The net was moving, but
I'll let that play again. Get you a good look at that in your Ryan Family Dealership replay. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Just a clean block. It turns into maybe a inadvertent timeout as you had to talk to the captains there momentarily, and then you get a service error on a serve pro set point. But it's still a serve pro set point for Minot High. 24-23. Majets can close it out with Gilmore. St. Mary's digs it up. Meyer sets it up. Matter. Ooh, that was close to being wide.
That was close.
Gilmore again. Blocked and down. Minot High with a hard-earned victory tonight. 25-23 in set 4. The Majets win this one 3-1. It's your Ryan Family Dealership replay in a moment. I pushed the wrong button again, but that's how it plays. Stay tuned. Our planning team financial advisor Shots Crossroads postgame show comes up next. Minot victorious 3-1.
Is proudly brought to you by PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Can you remember the last time you were certain that your bank had your back or would go the extra mile to give you the service and attention you need? Partnering with the right community bank can make all the difference. We like to think of a community bank as one that supports its local community. You need to know that whatever your financial future holds, your bank will be there to provide practical support. As a community bank, BNC National.
We're back in our planning team financial advisor Shots Crossroads post-game show, and Coach Gertson, man, that second set was tough, but you at the end of it you gained a little momentum, and I think you played that out well in sets 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, we battled today. That was a tough match. We didn't get a lot of kills. They were digging a lot of balls that I think we thought would drop, and it was good for us to play against that type of defense. And yeah, we tried to build off the momentum we had in set 2 there.
And coming off a loss on Tuesday night, get back in the saddle and come back with a hard 4-set victory that has to kind of just lift the spirits back up right away.
Absolutely, and every WDA win is a big one. None of these are taken for granted. So to be able to battle against St. Mary's today after a tough loss on Tuesday, I'm proud of the girls.
I'm going to talk to Mackenzie here in a second. What'd you like about Mac's game tonight?
She just controls our offense. I mean, if we're in a tough situation, she understands how to stay composed, bring us back, and our offense needs that. We've got some younger arms that are swinging, so sometimes they need that calm presence to kind of help them relax out there as well.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Nice win tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, that's Jessie Gertson, and we're rigging Mackenzie Duffner here. Boy, she was, we were talking about this during the broadcast tonight, Mackenzie. As the setter, you're the quarterback. You get your hands on the ball just about every play. Yeah. And that's usually good for the Majettes when you can be involved in every play like that. How much fun was that tonight?
It was a lot of fun. We had some ups and downs, especially today. But it was really good for us to kind of push through that, and because we haven't had really a game where we haven't been on. So learning how my teammates work and how we can push that together was really fun.
And you kind of got a new group to set to this year, right? And so for you, how much of an adjustment has that been, just getting used to those new arms, those new swings?
I feel like our front row is pretty much kind of the same. The only new people that we have really is Hadley and being ever on the right side now instead of the outside. But I feel like mainly it's been our back row that's been a huge change for us this past year.
And for you, you're one of our favorite players in the WDA. I'm just going to get that out there right away. But what we like is the all-around. I mean, you can kill the ball when you need to. You can block. You can dig. You can set. How much pride do you take in being an all-around type player?
I take in a lot of pride. I don't want to be someone who is really bad at one thing but is really good at another thing. I want to try and be an all-around teammate for my teammates on the court and trying to put my best out there for them.
And I forgot about the service line. Heck, you're one of the leaders in the league in aces too, so we can't leave that out.
Yeah, we work a lot on serving every day, so
yeah. Hey, great win tonight, Mac, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We'll send it back up to you guys. It's our planning team financial advisor, Shots Crossroads postgame show. More after this timeout on the PSP Network.
Is proudly brought to you by follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day. is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Can you remember the last time you were certain that your bank had your back or would go the extra mile to give you the service and attention you need? Partnering with the right community bank can make all the difference. We like to think of a community bank as one that supports its local community. You need to know that whatever your financial future holds, your bank will be there to provide practical support. As a community bank, BNC National Bank will be there for whatever you need in the long haul. Reach out to our team today to learn more about how we're able to help you succeed. Member FDIC.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh? Sport Clips. The pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of Finrun Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Thanks for sticking around and joining us tonight for WDA Volleyball from St. Mary's. Minot High with a hard-earned 3-1 victory over the homestanding St. Mary's Saints. Minot winning sets 1, 3, and 4, 25-15, 27-25, 25-23. St. Mary's won set 2, 25-14. It's our Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads postgame show. Planning Team Financial Advisors here to help you work towards achieving your financial goals. You can visit them online at planningteam.com, and Shots Crossroads get filled up with their delicious menu that includes the famous 99. Order online at shotscrossroads.com. Team buses are always welcome. I really like how Minot bounced back after that, I'll say, disappointing set 2. And then set 3 was just a meat grinder, as was set 4. But the Magi came away, and the Jets came away and won that. But I think something to build also for St. Mary's tonight. They were right there knocking on the door against a good Minot club.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure, as an athlete, you're disappointed after a loss anytime. But, they have a lot to take from that. They played so hard. Just never ever gave up.
Yep.
And and we've noticed that before for St. Mary's. Just scrappy play. They just don't give up. And then that goes to show on the other side of the net, that's hard to play against. Sometimes the ball comes over unconventionally and it throws you off your game.
All right, Mackenzie, a couple things we got to do here. It's our planning team financial advisor, Shots Crossroads postgame show, and as part of it, well, let's bring you our move of the game tonight. Brought to you by Spas Etc. Time to bring a spa to your home. Stop into Spas Etc. Find the massive inventory and a new spa from their next level sales team. They'll help you find the perfect spa, hot tub, or game for your rec room. It's Spas Etc. And the move of the game tonight brought to you and delivered by none other than the senior Eve Knutson. This was a set 4 play where it was crunch time the whole way, and then Eve she warmed up in that set 4, and then in set 3, and then set 4 as well. Both those sets Eve played well.
Yeah, they really started going to her, and she had a lot of success with those, and so Mackenzie Duffner knows to feed the hot hand, and hers was hot.
Yeah, there's your Spas Etc. move of the game tonight. The senior Eve Knutson with the smash down there. Spas Etc. Perfect game for your rec room. Spas, hot tubs, sauna. Bring a spa to your home. Spas Etc. brings you our move of the game tonight from the capital city. All right, how about this for a schedule tomorrow night? You got football tomorrow night, a 4-pack. Fargo North and Minot North, West Fargo and Century, Velva Drake, Animus Garrison, and DLB. It's a ranked matchup right there. Velva Drake, Animus ranked, DLB getting votes. Central Cass and Dickinson, and Minot and Shanley. 5 more football games on a Friday night for you here on the PSP Network. All right, last thing for us, it's our MVP of the contest brought to you by Sport Clips. They keep you looking your best. You can check in online with a hairstylist today at sportclips.com. And, man, there's athletes and players in this league that, you just like watching and like watching perform. And, man, Mackenzie Duffner is one of those for me, man. The game that she brings on a night in and night out basis is impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. And like I said, we've enjoyed now watching her for 4 years. And was it her coach, I think, said that, her presence on the court is just so calm. And you notice that she gets excited, but she doesn't get rattled.
Yeah, and whether it's on the service line, whether it's blocking, whether it's digging, whether it's setting her teammates up, or placing a backhanded sidewinding dump right there, right on cue. It's usually exactly what her team needs. And, yeah, congratulations tonight. Mackenzie Duffner, the senior, is your MVP of the contest. How about this stat line for Mackenzie? 39 assists, 15 digs, and 5 kills tonight for Mackenzie Duffner.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a good night right there. All right, fans, I'm going to move one other little, bear with me for one quick second here, let's do that, and we'll go back to that, and then we'll paste that, and yeah, how about that?
Looks good.
Yeah, there's that graphic. We were talking about the football, but this one's a little fancier, so I like this one better. Tomorrow night, Minot High and Shanley, West Fargo Century, North versus North, Central Cass and Dickinson, and Velva Drake, Animus Garrison, and DLB. Another action-packed Friday night under the lights on the PSP Network. Hope you can join us tomorrow night. All right, that'll put a wrap on it tonight from St. Mary's Central High School. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including BNC National Bank, for bringing our scoreboard. Pregame, as always, brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Timeouts tonight brought to you by First International Bank. Your replay sponsor all season long is Ryan Family Dealership. Serve Pro brings you those set points in volleyball. Our postgame brought to you by Planning Team Financial Advisor, Shots Crossroads. And within that postgame, we had your player of the game, the MVP tonight, Mackenzie Duffner, and your move of the game, the Eve Knutson Smash. That's brought to you by Spas Etc. All right, I guess next volleyball action for us is Tuesday night. We've got Bismarck High and Century.
Yes, so excited.
Ooh.
I love the Bismarck Century, Bismarck High rivalry.
That will be a good one. 2 teams right up there at the top of the WDA. Again, football tomorrow night, a 5-pack. Next Tuesday, we'll have volleyball for you. Crosstown rivalry matchups, Century and Bismarck High School. For Aaron Wald producing and running the cameras for us tonight, Mackenzie Quintus, I'm Todd Dahmers, repeating your final score. It's Minot High victorious this evening, 3-1 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. The Majets stay rolling early on here in WDA play. This has been WDA Volleyball on the PSP Network. Have a good night, everybody.
proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Can you remember the last time you were certain that your bank had your back or would go the extra mile to give you the service and attention you need? Partnering with the right community bank can make all the difference. We like to think of a community bank as one